Hey, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Internet Friends, the episode where we figure out who done it.
Yep. And it was probably me.
On
This
accident,
episode,
maybe.
yeah, it's actually a How Catch 'em episode. You're going to watch me do the murder and then watch both of them figure it out later.
Wait, I thought I was the one getting murdered.
Okay, so we're going to watch Bree figure it
Oh, I'm not. I don't want to be involved in this.
out.
No murders. A murder will happen will not be solved. So, and
I'm going to
I look like that guy totally got murdered.
Yeah.
That's
none of my
mystery
business.
solved.
Oh, yeah.
That is definitely a stab wound.
Yep. I'm popping an edible and going to bed. Good night.
Nice knowing you.
Yes.
In line with our opening shenanigans, our homework assignment for this episode was Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out story, which was given to us by Seth. So, Seth, I'm going to have you go ahead and open the floor.
I don't know how you guys feel about this, but it is so rare that the third in a franchise is the best one of the franchise. Like,
I'd agree.
I was blown away on my first viewing of just how fucking good this movie is. But I'll let you guys go.
More or less in agreement. My main kind of thing is that, like, this is definitely my favorite of the three. That being said, I still recommend people watch the first one.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it introduces Benoit Blanc very well. It explains who he it explains who he is and like what his whole shtick is. Because the other two movies like don't necessarily like give a good background into that. It kind of just throws it.
Yeah. And I would also say this one plays with the format that the other two have established.
Yeah.
And so the other two are important viewing.
Yeah, and I think more than anything else, this one is more reminiscent of the first one than the second, I believe, but it does it in a more interesting way, in my opinion. I do have like a couple of critiques of this one, but they're all just kind of more in mechanics and not necessarily in story.
Yeah. Bree?
Yeah, I mean, I want to apologize again for kind of hijacking your homework assignment. I did not mean to,
Oh,
because I know
no.
you were suggesting something else, and I was like, I thought you were talking about this movie, and you're like, oh my god, this movie. I really wanted to see it when it was in theaters, but it was like a very limited run. I think it was only like a week in like certain theaters, and it was not where I was at the time. So, I've been meaning to watch it, and I liked the other two. I think I have the hot take of that I liked Glass Onion better, but I will say I have not watched either of them in quite a long time, so I think I could be wrong on that. Yeah, I'm almost nervous that this movie is so good that we might not have much to talk about, because I'm just like, I feel like it's gonna be like, it's just so good. It's just so fucking good. I do have some like literally one small nitpick and one spoiler mention I want to talk about later.
Oh, this is going to be a spoiler filled episode. Like if you're watching this and you haven't seen it, turn this show off and go watch it and then come back.
Okay, well then, I'll maybe mention this right off the bat. I was worried because I was listening to a completely unrelated podcast, and the podcast opened with, "Oh my god, I can't believe Jeremy Renner did it in that movie," and I was like, okay, like, and I was just like, they weren't even talking about the movie. They just like, that was how they opened the podcast. And then 2 seconds later, like, we should probably have a spoiler warning. I was like, fucking hell. And I'm so grateful that that did not affect my viewing of this literally at all, because this is more than like this person did the murder. There's a lot more steps to it, which makes it way more interesting. And a lot of people had mentioned to me that they're like, oh, just so you know, there's a different narrator this time, as if that would really like, I don't know, sway me from liking this movie. And I really don't find that to be I'm surprised how often people mention that to me, because it does deviate from the format of the other two, but like in a way that I don't think matters that much, to be honest. And I think it makes sense for the context of this film. So, it's so fucking good. Like I said, I don't have a ton of notes on this, but I just want to express it. Like, yeah, in my opinion, this is definitely the best of the three. I don't know why more people haven't watched this, because a striking amount of people I've talked to, they're like, yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I'm like, what are you doing? Watch it right now. Granted, I hadn't seen it either, but it's so fucking good.
Grant, it did feel like it shadow dropped in a lot of ways because, like,
Yeah, it did.
Because, like, I remember them talking about when the casting came out and the production started, and I didn't really hear anything else about it until it had already come out. And at that point, like, again, where I was, time and place was, is like I didn't really have time to see it in theaters, and like I didn't have time for streaming because I was traveling and doing a bunch of other stuff. So,
yeah,
wow.
And that is a huge problem with Netflix's limited release in theaters, because if they had kept this in theaters, it would have made a killing with the word of mouth and with everything.
Especially because this lends itself well to a theatrical experience.
Yeah,
it really does. It really does. My one complaint with this one was that this is the first of the trilogy where a little ways in, I was like, oh, she's the killer. She's the mastermind behind everything. And then I was like, but no, that's got to be a red herring. That's got to be. And then as the movie went on, there are so many more things with this movie and the machinations of it that it honestly kind of doesn't matter who the killer actually was.
Super great.
And that's what the trilogy is like always done to a certain extent. Again, it comes down to kind of mechanics because, like you said, it's just like, oh, like this is the direction it's going, and like, you know, I saw what was going to be red herrings and what wasn't, and like, but I was more interested in like how it all came together as opposed to necessarily being the like pick out like, oh, I know it. I'm smarter than this movie. I never go into these movies that way. Right. I'm always just like, no, I want to enjoy the ride and see if like my instincts are right as I go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I see that. I am definitely the kind of person who goes into a murder mystery and is like, I'm smarter than the writer of this. I can figure it out ahead of time. And this one was real hard to follow with the different wolf heads and then the acid bath, the guy coming back to life. That was like, it really threw me for loops while watching this one.
I don't know if this is an unhinged thing to say, but I was talking to a friend earlier, so I feel justified because she felt the same way. One of my first thoughts of this movie, I was like, oh God, do I find Wix kind of hot? Because I think I find him hot. My friend said this, like he's hot. I was like, he is.
The DILF energy of this movie was off the charts. There's so much DILF energy going on between Daniel Craig, Josh Brolin, Thomas Hayden Church. Like there's a lot of daddy going on.
Yeah, it's like daddy, father, Monsignor.
Hell, the opening scene with Priest Judd punching a guy, I was just like, hot.
Yeah.
First words out of my mouth.
Hot. No, that's totally fair. Yeah. Josh Brolin is just a joy in this movie.
Oh, like, he plays it so well.
It's so good. So funny. The way he's just like, take my confession. And then, so I've been jerking off to this kind of porn recently. Got really into Futanari. And
he almost convinced me of like that argument for like, not actually like, I found myself being empathetic for a moment, especially when he's explaining like, oh, well, you know, when people are scared, they get angry, and that's like what the kind of feeling they follow. And that's what I'm, you know, preying on. And I'm just like, I do get that. You know, when people are scared and they don't know how to articulate how they're feeling, anger is kind of the next step for that. It's not a rational thing. It's just what people do. So I like him having that whole speech. I was like, you are wrong, but you're not completely wrong. I do see that reasoning.
Breeze on the red pill pipeline confirmed.
I am not. Trust me. If the yoga wasn't going to get me, if the crystals weren't going to get, it's not going to happen.
It would have.
It was really funny after watching the movie. My girlfriend was basically just like, yeah, they got really preachy in this one. And I was just like, yeah, because a lot of people didn't understand the point of the first two, and so Rian Johnson knows that he really has to hit people over the head with it now.
That was the thing, because I skimmed Glass Onion. I just had it on for background noise before watching this one, and it really hit me this time that watching them back to back, Rian Johnson fucking hates the red pill pipeline. He fucking hates the manosphere, and he calls it out.
Oh yeah,
rightfully so. Yes. Rightfully so.
As we all should.
But What's also funny about that like preachiness of this movie is, from what I've heard online, you have people who watched it and are like, "Oh, this movie is massively anti-church," and then there's equally the same amount of people going, "No, this movie is surprisingly pro-faith and pro-religion."
No, that was
And-
my take on it.
Yeah, I think it's both.
Yeah,
and it didn't.
It's criticizing the practice and not inherently the, well, I guess how it is practiced more than anything else.
Yeah. And like, as somebody who grew up in the church, it did not surprise me at all after watching this to find out that Ryan Johnson was raised Catholic, and this movie was part of his dissection of the faith.
Yeah, even I watch it. It's just like, yep, there's all that religious trauma. I bet he's a Catholic or former LSD or whatever denomination has like a really bad, like, what's the word that they use for it again? Deconstruction rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like it actually, to your point, I feel like this actually has a really favorable view of it, especially like something I really like about the character of Judd is that how earnest he is. Like he really believes in this and he really just wants to bring people together. And the first conversation that he has with Benoit is just like it's very civil. He's not like, you're so welcome here. Like, yeah, I want to have a conversation with you about this. Like, that is what faith should be. It should be opening your doors to people and like allowing a safe haven and things like that. Like he truly, especially I like one of the most powerful scenes in this movie is him talking to Louise on the phone. Like he really believes this and he really wants to be that pillar for people. And like, I'm like, that is what faith should be. It's what it's meant to be. And he believes that.
Gotta be honest, both viewings of this movie, I cried during that scene.
Oh yeah,
because it just brought up stuff,
Yeah,
I was about to say, God, such religious trauma, right? Religious trauma boner is rock hard for this whole movie.
Oh yeah. I had a youth pastor that was very much that like hellfire and brimstone. You are all sinners. You all suck. Fuck you kind of preaching. And so a lot of this spoke to me.
Oh yeah. But no, going back to like this one being like the best out of the three so far, I think Judd has been my favorite like protagonist character of the three. Definitely, obviously, him being the main narrator throughout the entire thing, especially at the beginning portion. Like we're seeing the story more through his eyes than anything else.
Yeah,
and I think just more than anything else, he has the most agency of any of the main characters that we've had in the series so far. In my opinion.
Well, yeah. Like I said, I only had Glass Onion on in background noise,
right?
But she had a lot of agency and took on a lot.
I know De Armas's character kind of was just along for the ride most of her. For the most part.
In the first one, Benoit was just dragging her around that first movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that there's anything I could really critique is like this feels like it has maybe not the weakest supporting cast, but the weakest supporting characters around it.
I think that's on purpose, though. Honestly, I think that's something that they wanted to correct from the second movie. That's what a lot of critiques that I heard, that like they felt that Glass Onion focused too much on like the very large cast, and that's where it kind of lost a lot of the pace and the interest. Whereas this gave as much depth as we needed to the other characters. Like they still kind of had a reason to potentially be a part of this. They had a role in this, but they weren't like too in depth. I do hear what you're saying, because I especially like the lawyer character. Like I felt like she didn't really have a lot to do, but also she didn't really need to. Like it was basically like, hey, this is happening again, and you're the Madonna that is being made a sacrifice yet again in this situation. This keeps happening to every woman that is around this church. So
yeah, the way I viewed her characters was just like, we are just basically putting her in to be the red herring, because she seems to be the one most scorned, but she's also the one most apathetic to the situation.
Yes.
Yeah. And she had a folding phone.
To Grace, so she was the first one who said, "That poor girl." And I'm just like, that's the first time we get any sort of sympathetic take towards Grace, and that's kind of a huge turning point in the movie, where it's just like, wait a second, was Grace not a bad person? Was she actually the victim in this, in all of this? That whole framing is so interesting. Like it's a little on the nose, but like I think in the best way possible.
Yeah. The cinematography specifically with the Grace scene where she's tearing up the church, though, and the different ways that they present it, they more or less use the exact same shots, but the way that they change like subtle things like the color grading, the how they cut specifically to different frames and different scenes, like they're all, like it's all the same shot every single time. It's just being presented in a slightly different way in a different context. I think that goes to Ryan Johnson's ability to really use visuals in a way that tell more than just one story at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Daniel fucking Craig. This is my favorite role of his.
He loves this role so much. You could tell he's having such a good time. He wanted out of Bond so much just so he could be doing these. He's just like, I get to have more fun. I don't get my ass kicked nearly as hard.
Yeah. There are so many moments when he's like, no, it's just flesh and blood. See, it's jiggly. And it's such a great scene. And then she's like, Mila Kunis's character, who is the most forgettable character in this movie.
That was my one critique.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Was it?
That's fair.
She doesn't look like a small town cop. Like I was like, it was terrible casting. She doesn't know what she's doing. She looks like she is wearing a cop costume. I was like, why are you here? That you cast? She's like, I hate to say this, but I'm like, she's kind of too pretty to be a small town cop. I'm just like, I feel like they needed to cast literally anybody else, and I don't know why she was there. That was the only thing where I was like, I believe that you are Mila Kunis acting in this movie. I do not believe that you are a small town cop, really just befuddled by all of this going on. It's just that's the only.
No, I agree with that. But just the line where she's like, "What is this Scooby-Doo shit?" and he like closes the casket and just goes Scooby-Doo, and then it cuts away. Such a great moment. But you're right. This is another one. When I was watching it today, because I watched it before this, there was a lot of like, man, I don't have a lot of notes. It's just so good.
Yeah. I mean, I went into it knowing that like I didn't want to take notes, but that again, like it's just like I want to be along for the ride and just see where it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's more fun with ones like this. And again, like the thing that Ryan Johnson does very good with his mysteries is that like the answer's right in front of you. It's not like they do a whole like, actually everything I told you was bullshit. It's actually this. It's like, no, it's all there.
Yes, that's crucial, I think, in a movie like this, because I think, and I feel like we've talked about this many times, but I think especially nowadays, they want to trick us so badly. It'd be like, see, you're dumb, and actually I'm the smart writer, and I knew the whole time. And I'm like, and like if you watch this back, I'm like, okay, yeah, I could see where all these tiny little bits that I missed, and that I maybe could have figured this out ahead of time. I see where the red herrings are. I could have solved this, I just didn't, and that's great. I love that I was fooled. That's perfect.
And I think it's why it works better in like a film format or like specifically just a one-off when it comes to these things where it's just like the mystery is self-contained within itself. So there isn't that opportunity to put in retroactive red herrings or retroactively like do, because like we talked about this when we talked about the Amazing Digital Circus. It's just like, I don't know how much of the mystery that's unraveling is intentional and how much of it is them just kind of making changes based on fan reactions and kind of just making up stuff to just see where people wanted to go, not necessarily telling the story that you want to tell.
And not to bring up Game of Thrones, but that was a huge problem with the last season, is that they were reading the forums. They were so obsessed with being smarter than their audience that they just completely undid everything that they had tried to do, because no, we got to be smarter than you. Like,
again, it's one of those things where it's just like, hey, it's okay to respect your audience's intelligent, and if they aren't intelligent enough to pick on it, that's not a you problem.
Yeah. Well, and it's George R.R. Martin, author of Game of Thrones. I'm going to talk about this. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is like my one pure light of joy that I've had this year. But he has a quote where someone asked him once, like, how do you feel about like online theories and people like figuring out things that you haven't revealed yet? And he's like, as an author, if you have laid the groundwork for a reveal, you did a good job if people figure it out before you reveal it. And just because some people figure it out doesn't mean that you have to just change it and try to be smarter, because then you're just going to be ruining it.
Yeah. it's just like if your setup has a payoff and they like that payoff is going to be seen as worth it, as opposed to just being like, oh no, I have to now change everything because some people were picking up what I was putting down.
Yeah, you just told a cohesive story, like, which is kind of the idea.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we want, and that's okay.
Exactly.
Crazy. Well, I thought you were going to bring up Stranger Things because I know a lot of people have been talking about that, but I think they just straight up didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So
no. All right. Did you watch Drew Gooden's video on it?
Of course I did. Yes.
Okay. Watching his video on it and seeing like the behind the scenes like documentary thing, I'm like, well, yeah, the writers of Game of Thrones fucked it, but at least they actually tried. At least they knew what they were doing.
Like, they had something written down.
Yeah. The people who did Stranger Things just seemed like they just straight up didn't care. And we're just like, I don't know, do this. This is the big monster that's cool. That's what people want to see.
They had 2 years to write that finale and they just did it. They just didn't do it.
They just didn't do it.
No, like my favorite thing, because like I haven't watched the last season of Stranger Things and I have no intention to, but it's specifically watching like the people online like crash out and try to theorize like, no, actually what it's like, just like taking whatever copium they can get for like thinking there's actually something in the pipeline to like fix everything. It's just like, oh, you sweet child, we've been down this road before.
They're just big dumb dummies, honestly.
There's nothing there.
And they don't even have the excuse of a Star Wars lined up for them that they got to get to. Like they just fucked it because I don't want to do this anymore. What's ChatGPT think the ending should be?
And it's so weird because they didn't have the same problem as Star Wars, where it's just like they have to put out a new one constantly. Like they took forever to make it.
Yeah. Well, what I'm referencing is that the reason that Game of Thrones wrapped up as soon as it did is because the showrunners of Game of Thrones were offered a Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I'm not giving them any credit at all. I'm like, if I'm not mistaken, Stranger Things was meant to only be one season, and then all of a sudden it was 5. So, but I'm just like, if you don't have a story, then I don't know. I guess it's like, but money though.
It's one of those. It's one of those weird situations where Netflix should have let it die.
Oddly, but it's so strange too, because then you hear from like Vince Gilligan of Breaking Bad, and he's like, we didn't have any plans beyond the first season. We had no clue what we were doing. And it's like one of the greatest shows ever made. And it's like, maybe if you care about the product you're turning out, you'll actually make something good.
He's also like a writer though, because if I'm not mistaken, also like the people who wrote Stranger Things are not writers, which is also interesting. Like it's not something they ever wanted to do. Ended up writing the show on accident. So.
I mean, that show was always like kind of like we're basically just writing a vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's
what very vibe driven.
Yeah, because like that was the whole thing that I remember everybody gushed about in the first season. It was just like, oh, I love the 80s synth, atmosphere kind of thing of it. And I was just like, yeah, but like that doesn't that can't carry a show for what has this been on for like a decade?
Yeah. A decade.
Jesus.
Yeah, 5 seasons in 10 years.
That's wild. I'm so glad I never got into it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm just like watching everyone fall apart. I'm like, oh, sounds like it sucks.
That and Game of Thrones both were things that was just like, yeah, this just doesn't speak to me, guys. So maybe I just have like that sixth sense. It's just like there's no way they're not sticking that landing, bud.
Yeah, there's no way. There are 5 books in the planned 7, and the last one came out 15 years ago. Yeah, this one's not going to end well.
It's a different time. I didn't know better. Now I do.
Yeah.
Now I don't watch anything unless you, both of you, assign it to me. That's the only time.
Unless we make you.
Wow, that's a lot of faith putting into us.
It's true though.
A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is legitimately great. Like, fucking incredible.
That's all short stories though, or like, right? Or
yeah. There are 3 novellas in The Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. This first season is the first novella. So the episodes are only like 30 minutes each. It's a completely different vibe than Game of Thrones, but it still feels like Game of Thrones.
Right. Same
It's
world,
incredible.
different tone.
Yeah. And also it's a prequel, so having read the books, I know where these characters end up, and it's really fun seeing them at their like earliest point. And like, yeah.
Maybe one day. Maybe when you assign it when it's your turn again.
3
months from now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No. Plus, forgive me, the fourth episode just premiered earlier. I watched it earlier today because it's usually Sunday, but they did it today because of the Super Bowl.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so it's all fresh in my head.
Yeah, the Green Day's opening for them.
Yeah. Bad
Can I
Bunny Green
complain
Day
about
show.
that for a second?
Go for it.
I just like, here's the thing. And we are all white people. I just want to, I have seen too many people get strictly excited for Green Day and not Bad Bunny. And I'm like,
Yeah.
friends, check yourself, please. This is Bad Bunny's moment. This is really important for the nation right now. I love that you like Green Day. I don't, but that's fine. Like Green Day, but like, let's keep this. This is Bad Bunny's show. Like, please, let's keep that in perspective. So.
Yeah. Well, and Green
coming
Day's
from
not
two
playing.
two Green Day fans, but like again, like Bad Bunny, I was just like, oh no, I was like, okay, cool, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, Green Day's not doing the halftime show; they're doing the opening show. So
Yes,
they
which
won't
nobody
be on
watches
stage
anyways.
together. Exactly.
Right. People keep conflating that. I'm just like, awesome, love that. However, again, Bad Bunny is playing, and again, this is super fucking important right now. Green Day, small. Bad Bunny is what this is a big thing. This is what we need. So it's very important right now, very crucial. So I mean,
and this isn't even Green Day's first like big sporting event that they've done. They've done a bunch of stuff for the NHL. They've done like I think they did an MLB thing.
Yeah, they've done a lot of stuff.
This is Bad Bunny's like first huge thing. It's like it's his moment.
Please let him have this.
Yes.
Just white people being white people. And I was like, if we could stop for a second, everybody, thank you. We are exhausting all the time.
It was so exhausting. My God. That's another thing. Going back to like something we were talking about in the pre-show is TikTok and the algorithm. Mm-hmm. Every single time, like last year when the app got banned and then came back after 12 hours. And then this time after the full transition of ownership, I have seen exclusively white people with followings be like, well, all right, I'm deleting my account. I'm leaving. If you want to follow me on another platform. And I'm like, and these are people who do like political content or archivist content. And I'm like, the people of color that I follow on this app have full on said like, I will leave when this app forces me to leave. But right now I have a message I need to get out to as many people as possible. And that is more important to me. And, but so many white people like Chris Valenti, like, bye, fuck you, fuck this app, I'm taking off.
I know. Stop making it our moment. Our moment it's been done. Can we just let it continue to be done? Like we need to sit back and listen, and act when we need to. So, I just like, it is honestly, that's why TikTok is like the least fun thing for me, even prior to all of this. I'm just like,
but Brie, what am I going to do if nobody giving me attention?
That's true.
Well, what do you mean it's not about? What do you mean it's not about me?
I know, confusing. We're all very.
Everything's always been about me my whole life. What do you mean that this one thing isn't about me?
Oh my God! What a nightmare.
I hate this algorithmically controlled social media app. I'm going to a different algorithmically controlled media app. I hate this echo. I hate this echo chamber. I'm going over to this echo chamber.
Yeah. Well, I saw one too. That was like TikTok updated their terms of service and people like read through it right away and they were like, it can track your location, it can track all this information, and the response was,
congratulations,
so does Instagram,
congratulations,
so does Snapchat.
Doing that.
I have a spoiler alert. Go into your apps on your phone. All of them do that.
Absolutely, all of them do that.
Oh my God.
I hate it. I hate it here.
It's bad. It's pretty bad.
Also, blocking Oracle isn't doing anything. Just so you know, everyone.
No. No.
Also, why were you following Oracle in the first place? Let's have that conversation.
Yeah. I wasn't following them, but I still blocked them just because I was like, fuck it. It's not going to do anything, but might as well, as long as I don't have to see their shit.
Yeah, for the goof, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
goof. Yeah,
I mean, I have Israel blocked on there too. I have a lot of places blocked on there.
Yeah. They don't care. They're just going to keep on like selling whatever thing they sell to NVIDIA so they can buy stuff from NVIDIA and just continue that AI bubble.
The AI bubble cycle that is going to pop any day now.
I fucking I really thought the art thing was good, like down for a while, but then all of a sudden everyone on my feed is posting like, look at me as a cartoon character. I was like, guys, what are we doing? Yeah. it looks like that too.
It goes in ebbs and flows, I notice. It goes from like everybody being super anti AI to everybody like doing something. I remember over Halloween the like girls doing like the Scream filter where it like puts them in the Rose McGowan scene with Ghostface. I was just like, these all look the same, and it's not even really particularly interesting, guys.
Yeah.
I don't understand. No. And the people that are like, it's not that deep. I'm like, unfortunately is. It is that deep, and it's continuing to be that deep, and it's getting deeper all the time. So please listen.
Please. Yeah, my sister's big on that. She uses Copilot and will like turn pictures into anime stuff. And she's like coming up to me and like, look at what this picture I made. And I'm like, you didn't do that.
You didn't make that.
Stop showing me this shit.
Yeah, I'm officially the not fun family member and friend because I'm constantly like, so that's AI and here's why AI is bad. And they're just like, okay, Brie, whatever. I was like, no, actually don't. I'm going to finish. So let me just continue what I
got an AI generated Christmas ornament from an in-law.
Oh, no.
And I was just like, how do I say this?
Yeah.
It was so bad too. It was so like it wasn't even kind of like subtle. Like it was just like, this is the most AI looking raccoon ornament thing you could have possibly shown me.
Oh, that's so sad. Because what do you do with that now? Because I know I showed you both the same. I got one too, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this now because I know Goodwill is like, and every charity organization is overrun with fucking AI slop right now, and I'm like, I don't want to keep this. I don't want to display it, so now I'm just stuck with this thing, and I don't know what to fucking do with it because it looks like shit. I don't want to display it. What do I do with it? It's just sitting there.
And now it goes to a landfill, and so that's another thing
that's another old problem.
Yeah. Another thing AI is contributing to destroying everything. That's the thing I don't get about it, is why like we're investing so much in the infrastructure for this thing when we all objectively hate it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like there's not a positive outcome that's come from this so far.
No, it hasn't made a profit. There's no positive outcome. I did hear a bit of a conspiracy theory, and just in case, before I say this, I am at no risk of harming myself or others. All right. But
he has to stipulate this every episode.
Yeah. It's part of my parole. But I heard a theory a little while ago that was like, the reason there is so much put into AI is because since we are being monitored at all times through our phones, and the government does have the ability to specifically look in on people, they are hoping for these AI data centers to just be able to process and constantly monitor everyone.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy theory, but it does kind of make sense. And at this point, after the last couple weeks,
yeah, like sure, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a side effect more than like the actual purpose. I genuinely think the main purpose is just like number must go up at all costs. So we will do number it by number must go up. We will do it by any means necessary, including just destroying anything. Whether we'll raise your electricity, we'll raise your water, we'll basically make all your electronics more expensive. We will make it harder for you to get employment. We will do everything we need as long as that number go up.
It's to not pay artists, largely. Yep. It's so wealthy people have access to skills that they would normally have to pay people for. Yeah. Like that's the long and the short of it, unfortunately.
And the reality of it is
Did you see?
Like, go ahead.
Did you see Darren Aronofsky? Auteur
Yeah.
Oh my fucking
made
Yeah, I
that
heard about
fucking
this.
AI show. What the fuck is that?
I have not seen it. I just read an article about it, but I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Like when I heard Tyler Perry was like closing down his studio and like preparations like AI is the future, I don't need this big studio anymore kind of thing. I was just like, you're short-sighted as fucking a dumbass. But
Yeah.
that one I was so egregious. I'm just like, what the hell?
It's bad. If you watch the video, it's bad.
So you've actually seen clips of it? I was like, I want to
Yeah.
make sure that obviously I'm not giving this man money because holy fuck. But
No.
Yeah,
I've seen people reacting to it on TikTok where they're
Okay.
like, could you fucking believe this?
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It never looks good. That's the thing that I know. I feel like I've harped on this like every episode, but I'm just like, it's always wrong. It looks like shit. I'm just like, what is the benefit? Like, why are people wowed by it? And again, I'm seeing so many people share like their AI videos with me. One of my coworkers just made she's like, I asked ChatGPT to make like a picture of my dog doing blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and it looks like shit. And it looks like garbage. So I'm just like, what's the point? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Artists. We have friends who are artists. Like, pay them. Oh, God.
But that would require money. And I don't want to give artists money. I want to keep the monies.
And it's fair. I don't
spend it
have
on
money.
drugs.
But like the weird thing is, it's just like, look, artists were already struggling in the environment as is. Like, why are we making it worse?
I don't know. I just don't
And
understand.
and there hasn't been a single instance where like this thing has not been basically pushed upon us against our will. Like, I didn't ask for any of these features. I have not asked. Like, it's just like, you ruined Google search. You've ruined like social media content. You've like ruined like the doom scrolling even. Like you've made all of this stuff pretty much unusable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hey, I am guilty of a few years ago when we would get like AI filters on TikTok where you could upload your nude and it would turn it into a landscape. I'm guilty of that. But it's the like, at the time, it was like, oh, this is inconsequential. This is silly. This is
It was a
whatever.
novelty. It was a novelty.
Yeah. Knowing what it would lead to, I like kind of hate myself for ever using those filters, even as a goof.
Yeah.
Well, like
I super agree.
Well, like what makes it worse is that, like, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's still just an algorithm because that's all. Like, all computing is ones and zeros at the end of the day. And the worst part about it is, like, specifically, like, and it's one of the reasons I never used those filters before, is just, like, it's literally taking the data to go train it and make more outputs out of it. So it's just, like, and, like, I realized I cannot escape specifically having fed AI. There's no possible, my entire digital footprint has fed it already. There was no way for me to have prevented that.
Mm-hmm.
Like us doing the show right now, we are actively feeding it, whether we want to or not.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And so, and like, I'm a very big proponent. It's just like the solution of not engaging is not an option at this point. Like, we have to actually be actively talking about this.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
And it is one of those things where it's just like, I have to explain to people all the time. It's just like, this technology isn't doing what you think it's doing, and it's not going to go the place that you think it's going to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've been here so many times. We've been here with the cryptocurrencies. We've been here with .com boom, everything else. It's just like technology doesn't.
NFTs.
Yeah, technology doesn't work this way. It's one of those things where like it is very much a market, and the market doesn't want this.
No,
I don't know.
definitely.
I don't know why you guys do.
Well, and I will say, I think it's also like, I know it's like, I mentioned like being like the not fun family member or friend. I'm like, I'm happy to play that role. And I think I'm sure you two feel very similar. I'm like, because I have noticed that I'm like, unfortunately, some people genuinely don't know. Some people like, it's just even though there's so much information out there, I just like, there's like, this is like adjacent to what we're talking about, but I posted recently about like, you know, Spotify, doing ads for ice and things like that. So many of my friends did not have that knowledge, and they canceled their account because I had posted something. Like, it's a small act, but it is important to share that information when we have it. So it's just like, yes, I always want to be doing more, but like, it does matter that we say something, that we're taking a stance on it, and that we're communicating that. Like, it's again, small act, we could always be doing more, but it does help.
Going back to everything being algorithmic echo chambers, is just like, you have to remember the information we have is not the same. Like, Bree's seeing different things than Seth is seeing. Like, so like,
very different. Very, very different.
But like,
you guys aren't on Flash Talk? You guys aren't doing the pause challenges? You aren't?
that was like 2 years ago, Seth.
Oh no, it still exists. It's still there.
I must have got that off my algorithm finally. Anyway,
it's off my TikTok, but my Reels, man.
It was heavy on the Reels back in the day. Going back to that,
so funny.
but no, seriously, like now, like, platforms more than ever have segmented us out, because even if like you're specifically seeing and getting a specific kind of information, like other people aren't. General public's probably not even aware of that. And like Bree said, like, you know, we have to kind of be those stereotypical millennials who have to be like, okay, boomer, let's have a talk.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, this is been a long-standing issue that AI and all of these things have just brought to the forefront, because I remember like a couple of years ago talking with a friend and referencing a YouTuber who I followed who had 5 million subscribers, and they were like, I don't know who that is. But in my brain, I'm like, oh, well, the internet can't be that big. And if they've got 5 million subs, everybody knows who this is.
Yeah,
everybody knows who Markiplier is.
Yeah, 5 million subs is a huge thing. Like, now there's people who have 13 million subs that, like, it's just like, I have never heard of you before in my life. I have no idea who you are.
Yeah. And that is a mistake I think a lot of us who grew up in the smaller internet still tend to make, which is, no. If I'm seeing it, everyone is seeing it.
Yes.
When that is not the case anymore, like both of you said.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to explain Marcus the Worm to somebody when I assumed everyone had seen him at this point. And I'm just like, so he's like, never mind. Just never mind.
So, fun thing about Marcus the Worm. Part of my CPTSD is that when I'm going to sleep at night, I have auditory hallucinations. And recently, one of my main hallucinations has been Robert. Somewhere in the room.
It's pissing me off.
Trying to go to bed, and then right up next to my ear, Robert.
Like a delight.
Are the voices in the room with you now, Seth?
Not right now. Not right now. My favorite one is just a really polite guy that goes, hey. Oh,
man.
The worst one is the woman that screams. But those are my auditory hallucinations. I'm broken.
I love Marcus for you. I'm glad that Marcus could stop by and lighten the mood a little bit for you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
that's
Marcus.
A nice one. Yeah, I appreciate it.
And also the guy who always records, Robert, is very cool. So if that makes you feel any better.
Yeah.
He's a very nice
guy. Seems to be.
Well, did you hear that he like found the person who originally made like the avatar for Marcus, for like the worm avatar, and like has paid him for
really?
Yes, he actually that's why he did not do Marcus like merch for a long time, because he's like, I don't own this. Who made this? Yeah, so he was on a podcast and he was explaining this. He's like, it's not that I didn't want to do merch because people were asking for it, but I didn't want to take that money. I wanted to make sure that like this person and the artist got the money. So he actually tracked the guy down. And it was I'm like, yay, there's good people in the world, Robert.
That is so cool. That's rad.
Cool. So if that makes you feel any better, like I'm just like, I didn't feel bad about liking Marcus anyways, but that makes me feel extra okay about it, because I'm just like, Robert's a good dude. He's a silly little alligator and a good dude. So,
yeah. No, snaps for that. Snaps.
Yeah, we love that. Beep, 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 beep. This is my favorite little like. Is a Gen
Beep,
Z
beep, beep,
thing,
beep.
the little
Is
like,
that
apps they
your
do. It's so nice. I
that's
think
your
that's
new tick?
I think it's very. I don't do it personally. I just think it's very cute.
Yeah.
It's all
Sometimes
fun.
it's all right.
It's all fun and games until you start developing new vocal
Oh.
stems.
Yeah. Speaking of the kids being all right, did you see that group of high schoolers that beat up that MAGA guy?
As
I
God
did not,
intended.
but I heard about it. Which is
It's a phenomenal video.
oh, kids. I appreciate them sometimes. So the ones that are not using
sometimes.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Not a lot. We were talking about a movie, right?
I think so. Yeah, I forgot that this movie ends with a Tom Waits song, and that was a pleasant surprise today.
No, that always a good choice. Always very solid one.
Absolutely. I want to mention like one more quick thing about the movie just because it was my last note on it, and it's something that I heard on a different podcast. But they were talking about, I guess some weirdly because everyone's critical about everything. Some people were critical about the title of the movie that it was a little too on the nose, which is so dumb. But somebody brought up in a podcast which I thought was so interesting, and it's like the title itself is also a misdirect, a very clever misdirect because one, that's what happens, and two, this is a super female driven story. The men are really just kind of part of the story. Like, in fact, they're the ones that kind of make everything terrible. The women are the driving force through every part of it, from Grace all the way to who actually set up this whole thing. And the women all like propped up throughout it. Like, the women drive this story forward. The men are just kind of so, and I'm just like, oh,
they are
a clever misdirect to be like, oh, it's all about the men, these strong men leading them. But it's not. It's all these women. Because who leads the church? It's fucking Glenn Close's character. Like, she does everything. Wicks doesn't do anything. He is just the poster child for the place, but she runs the place. And yeah, I just found that really interesting. I was like, yeah, that didn't even occur to me, but I was like, yeah, the women are crucial to this plot. They are the thing that drive everything forward.
Yeah. And that's like a weird like thing that I hadn't really thought about with the church before, because the church massively puts men in position of power and the women are subjugated to like secretary roles or smaller roles. But yet the women are the ones who keep everything running. Even though they're in a secretary duty, they're organizing everything. And it's just the man who comes in and like preaches on Sunday morning and then dips, you know? That is a really interesting point.
Yeah, it's also kind of parse and parcel to, like, you know, again, going back to themes, it's just like, you know, the economy, like, it's just like we have these big CEO figureheads who are like doing, it's just like, yeah, no, the people who make that run is the people who work for you, your labor, the people providing their labor, the people who are actually doing the shit who you guys are refusing to pay or refusing to like give livable wages or good working conditions, and like treating them as an inconvenience where it's just like, if they don't do the work, you don't have anything. And that was more of a theme in Glass Onion more than anything else in this one, but this one being more church centers. But you're right, it's just like, yeah, no, like the men have a sense of entitlement that they deserve something.
No.
and again, they get angry and lash out when basically they're not given what they think they're entitled to.
Yeah.
Even when they make the same mistakes, because like that, I mean, that's such a crucial point that Wicks did the exact same thing that his mom did, that like made her the harlot whore, made her like a constant figure in that church of like being the worst and this is another like point that this podcast brought up. They're like, you don't even hear her name first. You just hear her as the harlot whore. She doesn't get a name until a little bit later. It's just like, she's just awful fucking thing she did. She had a child out of wedlock, but so did Wicks. So did son. He was the most important person to everybody, and he had the same greed that apparently she did, which wasn't even greed. She just wanted to get out of this terrible situation where everyone was making her feel like shit for one mistake she did. So it just the framing is so interesting in this. This movie's a masterpiece. That's all there is to it. It's so
so good.
Hell yeah.
It's so good.
And
in that
I sat through it, so
it breezes by, which was another critique that I heard, where people were like, well, Benoit doesn't show up for like 40 minutes.
And I'm
perfect.
That was perfect.
Yeah. And I'm like, really, 40 minutes? That's how late he shows. I thought it was like 20 minutes in. Like it just flies by.
And like it does such a good job because again, once it does the thing where it's just like by the time he gets there, like you're already more or less caught up. It's just like here is laid out for layman like through one perspective of what happened. And like now we can get into the actual mystery solving part of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which again plays with the format. I really liked how this played with the format. I would really like to see someday one of these movies where the protagonist is actually the killer and it's like a Minecraft versus Holmes kind of thing. Or who's Holmes is Moriarty? I don't read fiction.
Yeah,
I do read fiction. I exclusively read fiction, but fuck Sherlock.
Yeah,
I was about to say by.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was not part of the Sherlock section of the Super Wholock fandom.
Yeah, no. Actually, I watched that first season. It's pretty good, and then by season 2, I was like, "Fuck Stephen Moffat. He's ruining Doctor Who," and it's because he's putting all of his energy into this show, which also sucks. I have opinions, and we will get to them. My next homework assignment.
Here's a theory. Maybe Moffat just sucked in the first place.
Oh, man. Dude, it was pointed out to me because a huge Doctor Who fan, but it was pointed out to me a little while ago that was like, hey, isn't it weird that like a lot of Stephen Moffat's episodes of Doctor Who involve the Doctor interacting with a young girl and then coming back when she's age appropriate? And I was like, yeah, now that you mention it, there are like 7 to 10 episodes that he wrote that are just that. And it's weird. Yeah. It's actually the entire crux of one season. It's real messed up.
Yeah, it only gets worse the more you say it out loud.
Yeah.
Although being a pedophile is not really a problem. Is that like a crime? She was probably just like a young woman of 13. I don't know why that's a problem. That's being totally chill in our country. So I don't know why you're being so weird about it.
Totally chill right now. Yeah.
Well, it's only contingent with how many zeros are in your bank account.
So true.
Very true. And Moffat has a few.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Do we want to talk about those releases or like...
I'm not really caught up on them, to be super honest with you. So I just know that has come out. So
my entire thing is just like, is the person who you knew was already there? Yeah, that's shocker.
Yeah, exactly. But the one thing I will say is that with all these releases, over a decade ago, I had a coworker who was massively into conspiracy theories, not because they were fun, but because they actually believed them.
Sure.
And there was one specific shift where we were working together and they went off about the New World Order and how, no, you don't get it. Our entire government, most governments are run by this like elite group of like billionaires, celebrities, politicians. They're pedophiles, they're cannibals, they're murderers, they like all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. This release of the Epstein files come out and I remember that coworker and I'm like, oh, fuck, she really called it. She called all of it. Unfortunately, correct. So. I
just really thought we were going to draw the line at pedophiles, and nobody seems to care, and that's blowing my mind. I was like, I thought you guys were all about saving the kids. What happened? Is it? Wait a second.
Having grown up
to care about the children. Hold on.
Having grown up in the church, not surprised in the slightest.
Yeah, no. My entire take on it is just like, what? Every rich asshole you've ever heard of really is that horrible of a person, and they do shit like this because they feel they can get away with it? I am so surprised.
I know.
I am. Yep. Just blows me away.
Thing. Has anybody corroborated if that's true? Like J.K. Rowling, that she's in it. J.K. Rowling. Have you heard about that?
She is.
Okay. That was the most confusing to me because I heard so many conflicting reports, but also I know that people defend her for some reason still. So I was like, maybe I'm
It is one of those things every time something comes up, it's important to kind of figure out the context of which they're coming up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot as well. The one thing that seems to be corroborated by a lot of different sources outside of, because I haven't read the files, I'm not gonna I'm not going to damage my brain with actually
as somebody
reading
who
them.
has to
I'll
deal
let
with a
other
ton of
people do
legal
it.
documents all the time, trust me, nobody's going through those things.
Sure.
Yeah. But evidently in 2018, after he had already been convicted as a sex trafficker and was a sex offender, her team sent him an invite to the premiere of The Cursed Child.
Okay. Yes.
That is the one thing that I can say for sure.
Okay. That was the one bit that I'm like, that seems pretty true. This looks pretty legit, but yeah, I don't know. But that's great to know. I mean, again, not surprising. She's a fucking piece of shit. So
Yeah.
Right. It's just like, I already hated her to begin with, so sure, throw that one still on fire.
I just hope that it's a nail in the coffin for some people because God, again, I know this is another thing we talk about in like every fucking pod, but I'm like, I need people our age to let this go. I like permanently let Harry Potter go. Like I'm just like, I love that it was like really quintessential to your childhood. Let it fucking go. Like, yeah, like if you have the books already, fine. I mean, like I wouldn't display them, but like don't keep buying things. Stop. Don't watch the new show. Like it's really fucking stop, please, for all of us.
Yeah, like I think the movies are fine. I actually do own all of the movies. I picked them up at a thrift store before we knew anything about J.K. Rowling. So even then, my dollars didn't go to her. So, but let it go. They're not that good.
They're not.
Like, it's fine. I picked them up because it was like, oh, I can grab 4 of them for $1 in a set. Sure. Oh, and here's the other 4 for $1. Fuck it. Whatever.
There was a DVD of the third one in one of the shelves that we were moving. It's like, oh, you want to keep this? And it's like, no, throw it in the dumpster with everything else. I was just like, okay.
Burn it. Yeah, and I don't keep them displayed. They're in my overflow movies. They're the movies that like every once in a while I go and look through and be like, why am I on trial all of a sudden? Why am I?
Your Honor, my client.
Oh, there's some not good stuff on those shelves from directors that I should be ignoring.
Yeah, we can have the art and the artist conversations till the cows come home.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I never show people my bookshelves. Like, I'm pretty sure, unfortunately, well, I mean, there's so many authors that are Zionists, and I'm just like, I already own the book. Like, I'm not gonna buy anything else from them. Like, but I do already own the book. So
behold my bookshelf and see that it is barren.
That's just because you haven't unpacked yet.
That is true.
I know. I look over at mine, and I'm like, there is a lot of Stephen King there.
No, all mine are currently in a storage unit, and they're like in the back of the storage unit. So those might just turn into like the books that got put into storage and never saw the light of day again.
Yeah,
for the best.
Hey, you're keeping them out of the hands of people that could read them.
It's
like every cigarette I smoke is a cigarette a child can't.
Hey, look, the way things are going, you know, as most moves work when you put a bunch of stuff in storage, it's like eventually I'm going to forget that they're stop paying for the storage unit, and I'll end up on Storage Wars, and then somebody will inherit all that crap.
But like, this guy was a monster. So many Harry Potter movies.
How great is Storage Wars, though? That really is like the peak of trash TV.
I loved it in concept, but the actual show is way too reality TV show-ified to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't start. Like, it's like with that and any other reality TV. If I start, I will not stop. And I have zero self-control. So I do not open that Pandora's box because I just like, and I know that's the intent of it. It's just like, oh, well, I'll just watch the rest of this episode. Well, the next episode's already starting. I might as well. Then you're there for 6 hours. And you're like, what year is it? What am I doing?
As somebody who worked at Discovery, basically the people who pioneered like trash reality TV in that format, like literally I didn't watch Storage Wars till I worked there because I just had access to all of Discovery's library. And I was just like, man, this is really formulaic and overproduced.
But that's so many of A&E's shows. Like, that's why I love Hoarders, especially. Is because like it is like if you are aware of how television is made at all, Hoarders is one of the funniest shows you can possibly watch, because you will have somebody who is living in a condemned house. They're not living there anymore. They're living with a relative, but the camera crew needs to get like footage of what their life living there is like. So they will bring the person back. And there was this one woman who, these people have mental disorders. I'm not making fun of the people.
Sure.
But she had clogged her house up so much that her bathrooms weren't usable. So she would go in like jars and whatever, and then pour it out in the backyard. And they have footage of her climbing to her backyard and throwing out a jar of liquid. And I'm like, knowing TV production, they had to go up to her and be like, hey, so you said this in the interview. Can we give you this jar of water, jug of water with yellow food coloring in it, and then film you going to your backyard and dumping it out? And what a dehumanizing thing to do. And so funny from a production standpoint that like meetings were held about, well, we got to see her pouring the urine out over her backyard.
It's like, we need to visually represent that on screen.
Yeah. Absolutely. People want to see it.
They sure do. Good God.
Am I a bad person? I feel like some of the things I've said tonight make me a bad person.
Spree, could you check to see if Seth's name's on the Epstein list?
Hey, Freddy Fazbear is in there. I didn't see that one coming.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good.
Anyway, so Wake Up Dead Man, go watch it. Great movie.
Yeah, so great movie.
So good.
Fuck AI. Great movie. Don't support J.K. Rowling. What's the thesis of this episode? Do we have thesis? I
was about to say, I think we say fuck J.K. Rowling at least once every third episode. I think we mostly do it on these episodes, but we're doing it on a Seth episode.
Watch Bad Bunny, Chinga La Migra. I think that's all everything we need.
Anyways, go ahead.
Nope.
Cut me off.
It's like, no more White Claw stuff. That's enough.
Yeah, definitely had too much.
Anyways, so that leads us to our next homework assignment. And so I'm going to go ahead and try and do another curveball because I love doing that. And we're going to do another attempt at a group stream, but instead of Baldur's Gate, we're going to do Monster Prom.
Monster Prom. Okay,
So
I'll have to look that up.
So here's the thing. I already own it, and we can play it multiplayer on like Discord stream. And like only one person with a controller needs to do it because you guys just have to like shout out which thing that you want to do. I'll explain the rules when like we get to that point.
Okay.
Bree, you're familiar with it, so you know how Monster Prom works. Seth will explain it to you as best as we can. I've been playing it with my girlfriend. It's been a lot of fun. We've just been doing weird voices for all the characters and everything else.
All right.
I keep on getting the Mer girl lady killed because I keep accidentally triggering the coup storyline and the comrade eel.
What have you done?
Of course, I have to give the eel a Russian accent. It's so great. Seth is so confused right now.
I have no idea what's happening, but hey, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, that's our show. I'm TCK Media Productions on most platforms. You have That's F23, you can find on the Tiki Atakis every now and again, and then you have the Raccoon herself, Bree. She's very lovely, and we always enjoy having her. Anyways, that's our show, and we'll see you guys next time.